Hello, my fellow nerds, and welcome back to Last Nerds on Earth presents The Five Crystals, a D&D adventure. I'm Mike, your host this week. I also play Oliver Blackthorn, the no longer faceless halfling rogue. We hope you enjoyed our one-shot series, Prison Break. We had a lot of fun making it, but we're ready to hop back into our old lovable characters. We last left our adventurers after meeting with Leon to discuss their current mission from the Adventurers Guild. After botching their first attempt to obtain an unknown item from Baron Willington, the party regrouped to discuss alternative options. The idea was brought up to dress up as caterers and infiltrate the manor during a party being held the next day to find their hidden prize. Will their mission be a success? Let's find out together.
Been a long day. My back hurts. Let's disappear into the world of fantasy.
There you go. So I ordered like these absolutely gorgeous dark purple dice, and they have not come yet. I'm very upset because I wanted to unleash them on y'all today.
Are they the metal ones?
They are metal. So
there you go.
yeah, but I'll use my elven glow-in-the-dark dice tonight for y'all.
Those are
so
good
we
ones.
Can really hear those clickety clacks coming. So many dice. Okay.
I have 7 dice. Why do you...
How many dice do you have? Jesus.
I'm a
You
dice
gave
goblin.
me a set.
Take 978 damage.
Apparently, I'm the only one that's allowed to take that much damage and start bleeding out. Constantly.
Dude, just all the time, Rain just puts himself in positions. He taunted the fish people. He's the one who used himself as bait. In the initial one, that, was just bad luck. But I think after a certain point, we got to ask ourselves, what the fuck, dude?
Listen, you know what you've done.
Part of my problem is, sometimes the things I don't want to be successful end up being really successful.
I can't think of any possible examples you could be thinking of.
Okay, are you guys ready to get into Dungeons and Dragons?
I was born ready.
I'm so excited. I've been doing a lot of research on y'all's characters, on the comings and goings of the city. One retraction. I said Crown's Guard last episode. Those only exist in Critical Role. And so, yeah.
Are you implying that Matt Mercer is going to guest star in our podcast?
Yeah, sure. Let's say that. Matt Mercer, if you're watching, you can just text me or hit me up on Twitter, Last Nerds Earth, and let us know when you want to stop by our 54-follower podcast. Yeah. No. So it should have been the Waterdeep Watch, essentially. So just bear that in mind as
How about Waterdeep Guard?
It is actually the Waterdeep Watch.
Makes it sound like it's a bunch of peasants walking around.
Well,
Okay.
maybe it is.
Maybe
Makes
it
our
is.
life easier.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of peasants. I have so many things to show you. So let's go ahead and get into tonight's episode of Last Nerds on Earth presents a D&D adventure. Da-da-da-da. I don't know why I do music, because then we can't add music later because it sounds bad. Anyways. So where we last left you guys off, you had devised a plan on how to get into Baron Willington's manor. Originally, you were going to go ahead and just ask him for this very important object that nobody's really quite sure what it is. It just seems to be an object of immense value that the Adventurers Guild has sent Leon to assist you with. And so you went up, you talked to him. The talks didn't go exactly as planned. It seemed like he was a little bit short-tempered with y'all, and you sort of stepped away. After that, you guys sort of discussed different options, maybe working with the Thieves Guild, which was shot down or definitely put in the back pocket to work with them later, or maybe not at all, just if possible. You decided like a catering company. Leon told you a catering company would definitely be hired for this. And so the interest is to go to the catering company and see if you can get either hired on or get some of their uniforms. Also, Carly talked about throwing an invisibility spell down on one of y'all to get you guys in. So the reason I remember this so well is I listened to our episode today. It's Spotify. So yeah, it was a interesting one. I thought it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
The hide and go seek one, where you guys were hiding. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And then it finally happened. And when I was listening to it, I was like, I should just fucking let them, or I should just let them talk about it. It was so funny.
I think it was better that you were, kind of dragging your feet on that. That made it better.
God, please, no. And then it comes like, all right, that's pretty good. So it is roughly about mid-morning. Y'all are still near Baron Willington's house. You guys haven't really walked too far away. What do you guys want to do? What's sort of your first steps on putting this plan into motion?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we discuss last time that we're gonna go try to talk to somebody about getting an invitation forged?
Yes, so Leon himself actually said that he would try and suss out some connections without, breaking his disguise or his guise, I guess, and try to sort of figure out if there was anybody that he might be able to talk to. So that was sort of what he was about to do. But if you guys want to, just sort of send him off to do that, he can. Then you guys can sort of try to figure out the entry situation.
And we should continue the conversation and see how it goes.
So, seems to me that we have some semblance of an entrance strategy.
That's absolutely right.
We get, that's what it was. We were looking for, how are we coming on getting those uniforms? Contacting those catering companies. That was our plan, right?
Correct, yeah. So y'all were wanting to either find uniforms or try to get hired onto maybe one of the catering companies around town. Now, there might have been, I mentioned there's only one or two that might be able to do a party of this size. Let me think about which ones they might be. There's one called Right You Are, and that's over towards the east side of this particular burb. And then there's also Cheery Cherubs, which they're more towards the west. So if y'all want to check out one of those two about either getting hired on or maybe figuring out how to snag some uniforms, I'd advise checking out either one of those first. Now, myself, I'm going to go ahead and follow down a couple of leads I might have and see if I can't figure out a invitation for you, a forgery, if you don't mind. So I'm gonna head out and we can reconvene at the Adventures Guild this evening if you prefer.
Well, hold on there a minute.
Yes.
Aligrax and Carly, you had a bit of a good relationship with them two elves up on the Oriole, right?
Aye, it's true.
Yeah.
Do they not seem like someone that could possibly get these invitations for us?
Well, they're pretty new to town. They said that they had some bad business and they're new to town, staying with people. So I don't know. Maybe we, as a last resort, we could talk to them.
Agreed. I think it's best if we let Leon hunt down his leads first.
All right then, Leon, carry on then. I sort of wink at him.
He gives you a little salute. He says, "Any other issues I need to know about? Any other questions for me before I head on out?"
Do we want to come up with an exit strategy later, now? Take it one step at a time, or because that might have a bearing on
how we get
what
in
we
and
do
out.
from here.
Sure. Well, for exit strategy, what do y'all think?
Alright, well, here's what I was thinking. If we get a few of us, a few of the more sneakier members to sneak inside, maybe with the wait staff, I reckon myself, I'm not gonna be terribly helpful when it comes to sneaking around. But if me and Carly can stick outside, maybe we can be your outside guy and perhaps provide a distraction for when it's time to sneak back out.
Is there like a sewer or anything around here? I'm just looking around. Can we go like underground and escape? Is that a possibility?
Well, now Waterdeep itself does have a pretty advanced sewer system. The only problem is it's usually headed up by members of the Thieves Guild, and by that I mean they usually have their eyes on it. So if y'all are looking to keep a low profile, it may not be the best route to go, because more than likely you'll run into either their guards or their traps or something. But it's an avenue that we can definitely explore if you'd like to.
I think we should have it know where an entrance is just in case, and then where we can go from there if everything kind of goes poopy,
Into the sewers it does go poopy. That's right.
Yep.
That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
That was fantastic. What are you talking about?
Terrible.
We'll edit that out in post.
Thanks.
Well, I gave it to you.
So, roll me an investigation check. This will sort of help you find out the nearest sewer entrance.
Okay.
Look, I'm just gonna tell you guys right now. If you guys are going to go in the sewers, I'm not going in there. It's not safe for me to go in the sewers right now. I mean, I would rather get pulled away to jail or something like that than have to go down there and face what's coming to me there.
I think you're good. You're gonna be invisible as long as you don't take too long.
I think we have a few other avenues to explore before we have to consider the sewers.
There are other ways in.
Oh, okay.
So let's check out these catering companies.
And my investigation check was only a 10, by the way.
Okay, so as you've been walking throughout the city since yesterday, you've noticed that there are several drains. Specifically, whenever you get into the fancier side of town, there's drains in the streets, and there's not a lot of very visible entrances and exits from there. You've seen one sort of manhole cover, but from what you can tell is it's not, every intersection doesn't really have an entrance to it. So you'd be hard pressed to really find one that's close to the building, because up in the fancier part of town, they try to keep them as hidden as possible.
Yeah.
Right, if there's no more questions for me, I'm gonna take off.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you later. Good luck. And I wink.
Absolutely, good luck to y'all too.
Safe travels.
With a flourish of his cape in a very dramatic fashion, he turns a 180 and ducks into an alley and is gone.
Alright. Now, how do we want to do this, investigating the companies? All as a group or split up?
I say we split up. I want to go practice my invisibility spell with Oliver. Make sure that I can still do it. And I'm gonna check something out. And then, if you guys want to split up and check the catering companies, that might be. I don't know.
Well, that sounds good to me. I want to know I'm going to be invisible.
Yeah, I want to see if he picks something up. If it becomes invisible. I never tried.
That's a good idea. That's definitely something else we should figure out.
Indeed. So you two do that, then we will check out the catering companies, I suppose.
All right. Hey, Oliver, let's head back to the guild and check this out in the room.
Right behind you.
All right, so Oliver and Carly, you guys are going to head back to the Adventurers Guild. It's actually not too far from where you're at now, and I mean, it was a pretty easy walk from the Adventurers Guild up to the mansion, so you guys sort of make your way back there. Let's go ahead and do Rain and Aligrax. Who's going where? Are you guys going together or separate?
Really gets better if we split up.
Yeah, I've got a couple of ideas for stuff I can do. How you feeling, Aligrax?
Well, I feel like we should each check out one of the companies. Which one would you like? There's Right You Are, and there's Cheery Cherubs. Take your pick.
I'll take Cherubs.
Right You Are. That leaves me with Right You Are.
I'm glad we got that settled.
What's great is I know he didn't do that on purpose. I know he didn't do that on purpose. So we'll do Rain, Aligrax, and then the two of you at the Adventurers Guild. So Rain, you make your way sort of east and roll me an investigation check. This is sort of going to determine how fast you get there.
Where? Come on, brain. I need you to brain today. Okay, there it is. Okay, so it's just flat 15 then.
Flat 15. With just a little bit of difficulty, you're able to sort of talk to passersby. A couple of the guards are able to help you out, and they point you over into the direction of the Cheery Cherub. And you approach this sort of squat building, but it's a very, very well groomed building, so to speak. It has a small garden out front. There are two white pillars on either side of the iron door, and there is a brilliant, very bold, bright white and bright red sign that reads Cheery Cherubs, and on either side there's two naked babies. They're cherubs. They're cherubs. And
just two random naked
just
babies
two
in
random
the middle
naked
of the
babies.
street. Has no bearing on the story.
No,
at
they
all.
just sprint across really fast. They'll show up again. And with that investigation, you do also notice that there is a goose wandering around in the front yard for some reason. So the sign says "Open" on the front, and you walk in. A bell dings, and you walk into this very brightly colored, very white store. Essentially, there's a small desk at the back made out of wood. You can roll to investigate what kind of wood. It's mahogany, and everything is very, very clean looking in here. And you notice on the left there are platters of food that they don't look like they've aged ever in your life, but they're very clean. There's cheeses and meats and all sorts of things, bread rolls and such like that. And on the right, there's a large selection of wines on shelves on the right side of the wall.
Are they doing anything like advertising for workers or anything like that?
You don't see any signs per se, but the bell dings, and after a few moments, a young elven woman walks from the back room, and her hair's a little bit mussed, and she's got a little bit of flour on her face, just like on her nose and her right cheek, and she's wiping her hands off in a towel, and she goes, "Oh yes, how can I help you? Hello."
Putting on my most charming smile, because I'm going to be that character apparently. I approach her and I go, "Hi. Actually, I've heard that there's going to be some parties in town, and I just recently got in town. I'm looking for work. I was wondering if perhaps you're hiring. I do have experience working waitstaff.
Oh, excellent!
So,
excellent.
I'm not completely starting from scratch."
Okay. What sort of experience do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, ironically enough, my mother was a maid, so I actually helped her quite a bit with waitstaff. It got me into working with a few different nobles as we traveled around at various different parties and such. The nobles I worked with liked to employ the children. It was just cheaper, and they could generally just train them as they brought them up. So I do have experience working with at least mid-level nobles.
Okay, well, excellent.
I know how to behave, keep my manners in check, keep my mouth shut.
You would not believe how hard it is to find somebody who can do that. Sometimes we get a couple people, and they're great. They're able to serve the food. They don't drop a thing. They're very good at cooking and baking, but they just cannot zip their lip. It's so funny. But yeah, actually, go ahead.
I learned very early on how to not see things.
I think that's one of the most valuable skills a Curator can have. So, yes, actually, we do have quite a large party that we're getting. This accent sucks already. It's been 5 minutes. We actually do have quite a large party that we're getting ready for. We just lost a couple of people unfortunately, to the disease that was sort of running around. They were from the poorer side of town. I don't judge. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I hired them in the first place, is I believe in bringing people up. But yeah, that's actually really, really great that you're coming in here today. This is so lucky for me. So do you have any experience in baking or cooking or anything like that?
Unfortunately, I'm not that experienced at the actual cooking side of things. More so with the serving and interacting with guests. Occasional minor problem solving as needed. Keeping tempers down. Sometimes people can get a little heated. We don't want that.
No, we don't. No, we don't at all. Well, yes, let me talk to a few people. Do you mind waiting here just a few minutes?
I do not mind at all. I'll wait right over here to the side just so I don't get in anyone's way.
Perfect. Go ahead and look around. We have our usual course over here on my right, your left. If you want to take a gander at that, just sort of familiarize yourself. And then we have our wine selection and mead selection over here on my left, your right. If you want to just sort of look over that for a second. I'll be right back.
I would love to. Thank you very much.
No problem. And she walks into the back room, and you're sort of looking around and listening. Is there anything you want to do while she's in the back?
I'm actually mostly keeping my eyes and ears open to maybe overhear things.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Because I'm probably not going to see anything in the front lobby, but I might get lucky and hear something I shouldn't, and that's always handy. All right, 16 on the die plus perception, so 19.
19. Okay, so you are able to overhear quite a few snippets of the conversation. You hear her talking to somebody in the back room that has sort of a gruffer voice, and she's, yeah, I mean, he seems really friendly, and I kind of like him. I think he has pretty decent experience. What do you think?
I don't know. Coming down this late, it could be hard for him to catch up, you know what I'm saying? So,
well, yeah, but, he seems to have a pretty decent knowledge. Did you want to go talk to him and maybe, give him a once-over?
Yeah, I think, you take over here. This dough's just about ready, so get it into the bread balls.
And as he's saying this, you see a sort of large figure come out from behind.
Yeah, get those ready there, Sheila, and we'll get them into the oven here pretty soon. So, hello, young man. How are you?
And standing before you is a large human man but he's very barrel-chested, and he has very thick arms and a great big beard that is sort of tied up and actually thrown over his shoulder at the time. And he's wearing sort of the white chef's outfit, and he's cleaning his hands of flour as well.
So, Sheila tells me that you're sort of interested in joining the company. Is that true?
Yes, sir. As I said, I'm new to the city. I recently arrived. I heard there were some large parties happening, and I thought I'd look for some work. I was hoping, you guys might be hiring. As I told Sheila, I do have a bit of experience with catering. Like I said, minor problems of keeping heated tempers down.
Yeah.
It's no reason to lose good staff just because somebody got a little hot. It's unnecessary.
Absolutely. Well, we've had a couple of problems with people coming from the south side of town. They're not used to customer service per se, but we make do with who we get. So yeah, it seems like you got pretty decent experience. What do you know about wines?
And he sort of comes over and gestures to the wine wall.
I know a bit about their care. Unfortunately, I can't say I'm a connoisseur myself, but I am familiar with taking care of wines. Their upkeep, making sure they are properly prepared.
Excellent. Okay. Well, yeah, that's good. I mean, that's definitely a start for sure. That's something we can build on. I don't expect you to know the difference between a Schwarzwald and a...
I don't know wines. Sorry. I don't know whiskeys. I don't know wines. What good am I?
Between a Chardonnay and a Chenin Blanc, which I think is a real wine. But, it's definitely something to build on. Keep them dry when they need to be dry. You know anything about baking or cooking or anything like that?
As I unfortunately told Sheila, I have very limited knowledge in that arena. I know enough to feed my own self, but not much more.
Well, that's better than some people, that's true. Well, I tell you what, gentlemen, there, young man. What's your name again?
Rain. My name is Rain.
Excellent. My name's Canner. Good to meet you. I tell you what, we've got a big party over in the north side of town here, and if you want, you meet us here around about noon tomorrow. That's when we're going to start prepping everything, and we'll see how you do over at this party. I've got to keep my eye on you, but it's not a big deal either way. But yeah,
absolutely, sir. I understand, and I want to thank you for this opportunity. I promise I won't let you down.
All right. If you got anybody else, I think we got 2 more spots that we need to fill. If they're half as decent as you, I'll take a chance on them.
I might know 1 or 2 people. I'll talk to them and see. This is just something I was already familiar with. I don't know how interested they would be in this particular job.
Well, it's not for everybody.
I decided on this because I've got some experience. I felt, you work with your strengths.
That's right. My strength. And he flexes and then laughs. I'm just kidding. It's French toast. All right. Well, like I said, meet me here tomorrow at noon. If you've got any buddies that want to join you, that's fine. I'll give them a once-over once they get here, but noon is when we're loading up and we're going to head over to, Baron Willington. I know you're new in town. Don't know if you heard of him.
I have come across the name. He's one of the parties I overheard. It's what kind of drove me in this direction.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah. Chatter's going all about the stratosphere there. All right, well, I will see you tomorrow, young man, and you take care now.
Thank you very much.
No problem. And he gives you a wave and sees you out the door, closes the door, and heads back in.
Rain is now going to leave before you decide to make me roll for bullshit.
You know what? It kind of fit inside your backstory. I was looking at your background. Granted, you're on the receiving end of it most of all, being the son of the matriarch there. But I figured you had enough knowledge of how people acted and reacted in life that you didn't need to roll a full deception on it. So I let it slide. I was checking though.
I was bullshitting hard and just hoping you didn't make me.
No, man. I mean, it was pretty straight. That was pretty good bullshitting because it fooled me. So I was like, all right. So we'll switch over to Aligrax. Aligrax, you're headed over to Right You Are. Roll me an investigation check real quick.
I get the sneaking suspicion this will be a waste of my time. That's going to be a 16.
A 16? Okay, yeah. You take a little bit of time, and same process that Rain went through. You sort of ask around, you ask some guards, you check some signs and streets, and you finally find your way over to Right You Are. And hanging in front of this small wooden building is a arrow. It's a big orange arrow, and it's just pointing to the right as you're looking at it. It's got a couple of wooden pillars in the front, some stained glass windows. It's very nice. It's very bourgeois. So you go ahead and step on in. A little bell goes off, and right in front of you are 3 or 4 different platters of cakes. And to the right of you, there's sort of a small selection of alcohols, different alcohols like ales and mead and whatnot. And sitting on a chair in the back is a small, frail gnome woman. And she's actually snoozing and does not hear you come in.
Ah, alright. So just to be clear, the party's tomorrow night, right?
Yes, the party is tomorrow night. I think at some point I said it was tonight, but it is tomorrow night.
Okay, so there's just this little old gnome woman?
Yep.
Then August's gonna clear his throat pretty badly.
Oh, excuse me, sorry, I was just taking a little bit of a nap. I do apologize.
And she sort of leans forward and pushes herself out of the chair and adjusts her little spectacles and she comes just sort of walking slowly over, and she says,
yes, young man, how can I help you?
Hello, so here's the deal. I'm looking for a party. I'm looking for catering for a party of mine.
Oh, catering for a party. Excellent. What kind of event are we having?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a ball, actually.
Oh, a ball.
Indeed, for some very high-profile figures.
Oh, I could tell by your dress that you were definitely high profile.
You flatter me, madam. But the thing is, I don't know if you can do on such short notice. This party is tomorrow night, and see, our catering company that we had, they backed out on us.
Backed out, you say? Well, that's very disappointing.
It is terrible.
Well, how many people are you having?
Let's see. I'm gonna pretend to run some numbers in my head. I believe it'll be about 200.
Oh!
and her face just sort of goes like wide-eyed and...
Oh my, 200. Well, I'd have to call in some reinforcements, but what kind of spread were we looking at? Just sort of finger sandwiches and drink?
Well, it depends. I assume you're not taking on any other engagements that evening.
No, a little bit slow this time of year for us. We usually pick up right around the holidays.
Yes, of course. Tell me, how good is your baked Alaska?
Our baked what now?
Surely you've heard of it.
I've never heard of Alaska.
It's a fantastic dish. I can't believe you've never heard of it in such a prolific city.
No, sorry, no baked Alaska. I've heard of darn near everything, but don't know about no baked Alaska.
Well then I'm terribly sorry to have wasted your time, but that simply will not do. My guests expect the highest level of culinary expertise.
Oh, I'm very sorry to disappoint you, my lord.
Consider it nothing. Perhaps next time.
Perhaps.
And a little tear comes out of her eye, rolls down her cheek.
Do you sell confectionaries as just a store here? Can I buy something?
Tell me what you mean by confectionaries.
Like baked goods. Can I get something?
Okay, I was familiar with the word, but I wasn't 100% sure what it meant, so...
Has she got, scones on display? Nice little glass display case?
Yeah, she does. Over off to the left, there's, like, a little thing of scones, and she's like,
oh, yeah, if you're looking for confections or scones, I do have a few right over here.
And she shuffles over very slowly.
And what kind were you looking for? We got raspberry, blueberry, and boysenberry, and we got just your plain old scones.
How many does she have, of all the different types? Sum them up.
She has about 5 of each.
5 of each? And how many types are there?
4. Well,
4?
5 if you include plain scones, but nobody likes plain scones but the British, so... Ooh, actually, we have some British listeners, sorry.
Alright, I'll take all the scones.
Okay, all the scones. Well,
I'm
run you about...
particularly hungry.
I'll run you just about 5 gold for all of the scones.
That seems like a fair price.
Oh, excellent. Well, would you like me to bag them up for you?
Oh, that would be lovely, thank you.
All right.
and she takes about half an hour grabbing each one, wrapping it up, putting it in a bag, wrapping, and putting it in the bag, and then she hands it over to you and says, "Well, there you go. I'm terribly sorry we weren't able to handle your business, but if you have a party further down the line, you just let me know." God, that went into like the old man from Family Guy.
I should.
You just let me know if you need any popsicles too.
You're a terrible person.
You'll be the first ones I come to.
Oh, well, I do appreciate you thinking.
Well, you can't unhear it now, right?
That's all I hear now. Yep.
All right, well, you have a good day, young man, and I'll see you next time.
And she sort of walks with you out the door and closes it. You hear her sobbing on the inside because her business is going broke and you're a terrible person. No, I'm just kidding.
I just bought all her scones.
I know. I'm just messing with you. No, she just goes back and sits on her chair and goes back to rocking to sleep.
Alright, awesome. That was a little bit of a bust, but at least I got some scones.
There you go. Scones are great.
I didn't know what it was before, but a baked Alaska looks fantastic.
There's no place called Alaska.
No, a baked Alaska, like it's a dessert.
Yeah.
Google it. It looks delicious.
It would be like a baked High Moor or a baked Chellenber or something like that, or a baked Hill of Lost Souls.
That looks really good. Oh, man.
Okay, now I have to...
I picked something deliberately that I knew this little old gnome lady wouldn't be able to make, so...
Oh my gosh, I thought it was a fish.
I thought you were just questioning Jack's dessert knowledge.
I also was.
It's not that good. I have a very few number of southern desserts I like, and that's it.
It's ice cream on cake, and you set it on fire.
Oh, so
And you can there's like a wide variety of different kinds too.
And welcome everyone to the Last Nerds on Earth Baked Alaska podcast.
Look at this one, and look at this one, and look. Oh, that one's a puppy.
All right. Algrax's friends only take the finest of desserts, even if they don't exist.
That's right. That is right. All right. So let's go ahead and get on over to Oliver and Carly. You guys are making your way downtown, walking fast. Some faces are passing.
Are we homebound?
You are homebound.
Okay, good.
You guys
There's
get
a piano in the middle of the street.
There is. The what's his name? The giant guy comes alive, and instead of battling evil, he just plays a song against evil, and it's awesome.
I think Watermelon Head should play a piano.
Oh my god, you could do that with Minor Illusion. I mean, it's kind of complicated, but I'll definitely let it slide for that.
You're on.
All right. So you guys are making your way into the... God, I can't say making your way without... Anyways, you guys are headed into the Adventurers Guild, and you guys are just going straight up to the room?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, head on up there. Pull out your key. The barrier drops. You push open the door. You walk in. Close the door. Barrier goes up.
Hey, Oliver?
Yep.
I want to talk to you alone a little bit. I don't know if I really trust Leon. We don't even know him, and we have to go break into this house and steal this thing. I know he didn't really ask us to do that, but I think he kind of, pushed us in that direction a little bit, maybe? I don't know. We did screw up that Baron Willington talk, but what do you think? Would the Adventurers Guild even want us to, break in and steal something?
He did say that he was loyal to the Adventurers Guild, but I do know what you mean by having a suspicious feeling about him. I grew up here, and I'm just gonna take this hood off real quick. And he takes his hood off. He's gonna be much more casual about that now, mostly because I'm sick of doing the gruff voice.
You mean the super generic every NPC voice?
Yeah, pretty much. Thanks for calling me out on that.
It happens. It's a natural voice to do when you're dealing with.
It is, really. Anyway, Carly, I grew up here, and Leon claims that he knows me, but I've never seen him before in my life, at least not to my knowledge. As far as I remember, I got a pretty bad insight check, but that doesn't exactly mean...
Yeah, I know what you mean. I had that feeling once.
It seems a bit that he's just sort of come out of nowhere. He says he's been here for so long, but I've never seen him before in my life.
Yeah, he says he's with the Adventurers Guild and the Thieves Guild. What if he actually took out our contact and he took his place and he's using us to steal this for the Thieves Guild? I wouldn't actually plan it because I don't think that far ahead, but I might end up doing that inadvertently if I was a bad guy still.
I don't know. I really don't.
Well, You think we could contact Francois and just talk to him?
How are we gonna do that?
I don't know.
Send a raven or something.
Let's go talk to Pringles. I got. Yeah. Can you do me a favor? I'm gonna use my magic on you to do the invisibility, but I really want to know what's in his book. Can you look in his book for me while I'm talking to him?
Sure thing, mate. And I put my hood back up and... All right, do your thing then.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on him.
You sort of wave your hand, and Oliver begins to shimmer in place, and then you grip it into a tight fist, and smoke begins to come out of it, and it wraps around Oliver, and when it dissipates, he's gone.
Oh, Oliver, you there? Oliver?
Nah, just messing with you. I'm still here.
Oh man. Well, that was pretty good.
I wasn't sure.
That was pretty good.
I wasn't sure if we had lost Mike or not, and I was like, he's just messing with him. He's just messing with him. Okay, so anything you're wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it is on the target's person, and the spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. So as long as you don't attack or cast anything, you're fine. It lasts up to 1 hour.
You know, reading Pringle's book is an attack on his privacy.
Roll for initiative against the book.
I did do a little research, and apparently if he tucks something under his clothes that are already invisible, it will be invisible.
That's what I thought. So yeah, if you guys didn't figure that out, that's what was going to happen once you...
Yeah.
Hey, Oliver. I'm gonna throw this coin up in the air, and I know you're gonna steal it because that's what you do. But I want to see if it goes invisible.
So I just flick it up in the air, just kind of toss it.
Can I roll dexterity?
Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, he's just tossing it sort of at you. But yeah, go roll dexterity.
Okay.
I can't see your sick moves, man.
It's a good thing I have a plus. Well, still 11.
11. Yeah, I mean, you just reach up and you snatch it, and Carly, you're just watching this coin fly through the air, and then it just disappears.
Nice.
All right. Well, that went invisible, so that's some good news.
That solves that mystery.
So Carly, take off 1 gold. Oliver, put on 1 gold.
Yeah, he's not giving that shit back.
No, yeah, I definitely pocketed that.
All right, I'm gonna head downstairs.
All right, let's head downstairs real quick.
All right, you guys leave the room and head on downstairs, and vigilant as ever, Pringles is right there. He does have his book next to him, but it is closed. He has a cup of tea. His book's sort of off to the side to the left, and he has a cup of tea in his hands that he's sort of sipping on. And he sees you guys come down and head over and says, "Oh, hello. How can I help you, sirs?"
He sees us guys.
He sees one of us buddy.
He just sees Carly. Sorry. I was thinking about maybe like the Adventurers Guild had a magical blah, 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 but I was like, nah, it's BS, whatever. But yeah, so he says, good afternoon, Sir Carly. How can I help you?
Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just fine, sir. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yeah, I did have a question for you. I was wondering how I would be able to get a hold of somebody in the Adventurers Guild, like Francois or trainer.
Well, there's a couple of methods. The first would probably be to send a carrier bird out, and we do have several of those. However, if this is more of an emergency, you can use the scrying rune over here. And he sort of gestures to the left, and you notice that there's a short hallway off to his left, your right, that sort of tucks in back there, and it has like a small little sitting area, and in the middle of it there is a pedestal with a hovering purple gem in it, about the size of your head.
Oh, I like the rune idea. Yeah, I kind of need to talk to him pretty quickly. Can you come over and show me how to use it real quick?
Question, Carly.
Yeah.
Do you know Thieves' Cant?
No, I do not.
Shit. That would have been awesome. Okay.
And he says, yes, not a problem at all, sir. It's fairly simple. And he steps out from behind the desk and begins walking you over to it. See, all you do is you simply state your name, you state your party's name, and then you state who you would like to talk to. It runs it through our Arcana algorithm, and if you are of the Adventurers Guild and the person who you're trying to contact is in the Adventurers Guild, it'll ping them with a message if they are nearby one. Who is it you're trying to get a hold of? Francois, you said?
Yeah.
Did you say?
I said Francois, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm super tired. Excellent. Well, yes, you can just and so Oliver, as he's doing this,
Yeah, I was gonna say, did he leave his book on the desk?
he did. So if you'd like to try to go through it, you can roll sleight of hand with advantage.
Okay. That's a 6 plus 5, 11.
11 total.
Oh, but I have advantage.
You have advantage, yes.
Forgot about that. Oh, 4. So yeah, 11.
Wow. Okay.
Damn it.
So you move over, and he is really engaged in teaching Carly how to use this thing, and you reach up to grab the book, and it sort of scrapes over the desk as you're pulling it closer to you, and you freeze for a second, and you look back behind you, and he does not hear you.
Nice.
So he stays focused on that, so you're more than welcome to. You have the book in your hands.
Okay, so I have it in my hands, but it's not invisible because it's not in my pocket, right?
No. I think you've got to actually like cup it in your hand or in your clothes or something like that.
Like
That's already
completely
invisible.
cover it.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm thinking is I'm just gonna go on get the other side of his desk. Is it like solid? Could I sit behind it and read it there?
So his desk is basically just a freestanding desk. It opens on either end, basically.
So just 4 legs.
Well, it's more, think of a concierge desk, but instead of going the full length, it's just like a section of it. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So just a
I see what you mean.
basic desk, yeah.
Okay.
It's got it's got that thing in front of it so where you can't see what's behind the desk, and it has like little shelves behind it as well.
Okay, I'll put it on one of the shelves and open it and read it from there.
Okay.
Like one of the lower shelves, so you can't see it like flipping open on the.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're going for. Yeah. So I can either send it to you, or I can just tell you what's in it.
I mean, you could just tell me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's gonna be easier, I think, because I don't have it written down. I should have after knowing how interested Carly was, but thumbing through it, you're not able to spend a lot of time on it, just because you're moving. But from what you can discern, it is his memoirs. It basically details the short time he had, the long time he's had in the Adventurers Guild, sort of different adventures who he's worked with. We actually see Francois' name pop up a couple of times, and you pinpoint one of them, and you realize that him and Francois were part of the same adventuring party when they first started.
Oh, that's cool.
And that he saved Francois' life during what was supposed to be a basic guard mission, just A to B, and it turns sour very fast. You can't really get the details in the amount of time that you're spending, just because you gotta go quick. So, but after you say hold on,
Yeah. Does that mean that every party is supposed to have a Nurse Joy? In which case, who is ours?
Where's our NPC healer?
I mean, he's at the Temple of Lathander, man. So they after this mission, they both took jobs at the Adventurers Guild outside of adventuring. So Pringles is watching over the desks, and Francois is training new recruits.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that. That's way
That's
better
really
than
cool.
just jibber jabber in there.
Yeah. So I actually wrote all that down. That's an actual backstory I wrote down probably like months ago. I thought that was kind of cool. So anyways, and you hear Pringles start to finish up his explanations. So were there any other please, for the love of God, delete this out of the freaking podcast.
Nope. Oh, that's staying in there.
I'll do a murder. It's so weird. The crystal explodes and kills Carly. Pringles is
Thank
fine.
goodness.
Anyways, so Carly, that's essentially the way that the crystal works. Are you confused about anything else?
While he's wrapping up, I'm going to slowly put the book back on the desk. And, well, I mean, I'm still invisible, so I'll just sort of stand there.
Give me another sleight of hand check.
Okay.
With advantage.
So glad you said that. 14.
14. Yes, you are able to put it up there easily. It does slide against the desk, but it doesn't really make any sounds. It is successfully back up there.
Well, that's really cool, Pringles. Might have a couple questions after I try to contact Francois here.
No problem at all. Just if you do, just let me know. I'll be right over here at the desk. And he turns and gestures at his desk.
All right, thank you.
No problem. And begins to walk away. And he walks back over to his desk. Oliver, are you out from behind it?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Okay, cool. So walks back over to his desk and sits down and enjoys tea.
All right, I'm going to try to contact Francois, and I'm going to say, Francois, this is Carly. Hey, how you doing? I have a pretty cool question for you regarding this pretty sweet mission. Can you get back to me like right now?
There's a bit of a pause. And then,
Bonjour, mes amis! Golly, my man, my min man, how are you doing? Are you still catching things on fire?
Oh yeah, you know me. Everything's fire with me.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. So you had a question for me, my good man?
Oh yeah, we're in Waterdeep, and I was wondering, we met with Leon, and we got our mission. Can you tell me what the artifact is that we're trying to get?
Unfortunately not, my good man. Even I don't know. The higher-ups sent this quest down. They said it was on a quote-unquote need-to-know basis.
and one detail I did miss, his face actually appears in the crystal, so you can sort of see as you're talking to him.
Okay, well, I'm looking away from it, and then I look towards it. Holy crap! I didn't realize I could see you. Hey. All right. So I have a bit of a concern.
What is the concern, my good man?
Do you know Leon personally?
Absolutely.
So it could be Leon, but it could not be Leon, only because he says he's been in the Thieves Guild, but the Adventurers Guild. So is that true? Is Leon actually in the Thieves Guild undercover?
He is. That is one of his main objectives, is just to keep tabs on the Thieves Guild for us. It is how you say, his quest right now, his goal in life. He has been in there for, goodness gracious, what has it been, 20 years already? I'll have to send him a cake. But, yes, he has been in the Thieves Guild.
This voice is freaking killing my throat.
It's so good on the podcast, though.
I know. This is super offensive to any of our French listeners, and I do apologize for it. It happened really early on, and I made a mistake, but I have to stick with it. The story must continue.
It's a goofy voice, man. Just go with it.
I mean, Americans have goofy voices, that's for sure.
What are you talking about?
So, yes, Leon has been a very close confidant to the Adventurers Guild. He was with us for a very long time, going on adventures, doing all sorts of things. When we decided, not me per se, but the Adventurers Guild decided that we needed to have an operative inside the Thieves Guild just to keep tabs on him. But goodness gracious, man, 30 years, that is quite a long time, don't you think, Babu?
Babu is
That's a very long time. So I just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for the guild here. So basically, our plan right now, with the help of Leon, is to break into the Baron Willington's mansion during a party and take this artifact, so the Thieves Guild can't have it, and so we can have it. But isn't that against what we do, or is this really our mission?
Listen, Carly, are you listening?
Yeah.
Excellent. The Adventurers Guild is mostly, go out, fight some monsters, save the damsel, be the hero. But there are things we must do to keep the balance of the world, balanced. This is one of those things. Now, did you actually talk to Baron Wellington?
Oh, yeah, and
How did that go?
I was told not to talk, so I tried to be his friend after, but he was pretty mad, so it didn't go very well.
Pardon? He was mad? What for? You guys are great!
Yeah, well, we kind of threatened him with, he got threatened.
But
he
why?
got kind of...
Listen, I wasn't trying to threaten him.
I've been standing next to you this whole time and I'm still invisible.
Oh,
You can drop the invisibility spell whenever. Just note that Pringles is fairly close, so he's not paying attention. But, I mean,
Yeah, but also Carly cast it on me, so I'm leaving it up to him to turn it off.
Yeah, he's got to shut it down for you.
Yeah.
oh yeah, by the way, Francois, I turned Oliver over here invisible, so, so he could break in and steal that tomorrow. I was just testing it out, so he's here.
Oh, fantastic! Where is he?
I wave, but he can't see me.
Yeah, you can't see him, he's invisible.
Right now! Okay, good.
Well,
alright, but yes, it is unfortunately a sneaky task, but we do have to have it done.
Okay, why did they ask us to do it? Did you tell them we could do it, or did they ask for a team that really had no real experience to do this very important mission?
Carly, that is a very deep question for someone coming from you. I will tell you, my friend. Listen,
Well, my intelligence is not that low.
there was a quest going around. It was, go get this object. And I spent 6 months training you. You are not the best. Yet. But I see all the potential that you four had in you. And I know this is something that you can accomplish. This will be great for you. This will really boost your status in the Adventurers Guild.
Okay, so can I trust Leon? I'm guessing I can.
You can trust him as far as Alagars can throw him, and that's pretty dang far, am I right?
You're funny. Now, I just want to know that it's actually really him. What can you tell me about him that only he would know, or that I would know for sure that it's him?
Let me think for a second.
Because there's a lot of thieves here.
There are a lot of thieves. Well, there's less than there used to be, and that is in part to Leon there. But what's again? Oh, there is one thing that Leon has that I've never seen before in my life. And the only way anybody else would have it is if they had killed Leon. And that, my friend, is a very hard thing to do.
What is it?
Does he have a deck of cards?
Yeah, he does.
Are they kind of shimmery shiny? Maybe a little sparkly warkly?
I like him. I can't stop staring at him.
This is Leon.
Okay. Well, thank you for making me feel a little better about this now. And we'll do our best. And if we get into trouble, I'm gonna blow some stuff up. So I hope that's okay with the guild.
You just be very careful. Don't hurt anybody you don't need to. Okay? I mean, we'd hate to have to pay reparations to Baron Willington.
Well, I want to hang out with that guy sometime. I hope I don't hurt anything.
He's got a little bit of a temper, no?
No, well, Minotaur has a temper. That guy, oh man, that's one heck of a temper.
That sounds like a story for Fireside, my friend.
All right, well, I think we got to get back to preparing because we got to steal this thing. So, thank you.
Not a problem at all. Call me anytime. I'm doing nothing.
All right. See you later.
Au revoir, mes amis. And you hear a little ping, like an old TV turning off. Ping, and the crystal goes dark and Francois's visage fades.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk up to Pringles.
Thank you. That was awesome. I did talk to him. He was I saw his face. That kind of freaked me out.
Yes, it does tend to startle people the first time they use it. But how was Francois? I haven't seen him in such a long time.
Oh, you know him?
Yes, absolutely. Me and him used to be adventuring partners together.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. You know Leon too?
Me and Leon have met several times, but only over the past 20 years. You see, it's very hard to keep a cover here in Waterdeep away from the Thieves Guild, and so there wasn't need for him to meet except under very, very important circumstances, as we didn't want his cover to be blown.
Yeah, those are some pretty cool cards, huh?
Absolutely.
All right, well, we got a mission to do, so you have a good rest of your day.
You too as well, Carly. You know, I'm beginning to like you. And he gives you a little bit of a smile and sits down and opens his book back up and grabs a quill and starts going at it.
I smile and say, I've always liked you. And then I just walk upstairs.
He laughs a little bit. Oh, Master Oliver, I didn't see you come in. Terribly sorry. Welcome back. Hope you had a good time.
I didn't turn off the spell yet.
Oh, that's right. I thought somewhere in the Francois interaction, sorry.
No, I told him he was invisible.
I was gonna say anyways, like, as we're walking up the stairs, I'm gonna be like, all right, well, see you later, Francois.
What? Wait, that's not Francois. That's Pringles.
No,
Pringles, you mean?
All right, well, see you later, Pringles.
We're all so tired right now.
Yeah.
How are you guys tired?
I have a newborn.
All right. How are the other two of you tired?
I'm good.
Our job is...
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Mumble.
All right, so we go back up in the room. I want to talk to Oliver a bit more.
Okay, let's go ahead and break that off right there real quick, if that's okay. And we'll jump back over to Aligrax and Rain. What are you guys doing this sort of simultaneously?
I think if we didn't have anything else to do, we probably were going to just meet back up at the Adventurers Guild, right?
Okay, it's early afternoon.
I'm actually going to do a quick bit of shopping, looking for 2 items in particular. Might need to look around the shadier parts of town. An invisibility potion, if there's one available, even if it's a pretty low-end one, you know.
Okay, yeah, that'd probably be closer to the southern side of town, sort of near Timora's Blessing, since that is a adventurers and mercenary hall. So yeah, if you wanted to head down there, that's an inn. Retard weaponry I've already seen. That's a magazine place? I don't know. So yeah, I'm trying to find one real quick. What was the other thing you wanted to?
A potion or item or something that can either make a big flash or a loud bang.
Big flash or a loud bang. So like a flashbang.
Yeah,
Okay. So let me...
either or both.
I found a business on here called Aurora's Realms Shop, Slut Street Catalog Corner.
Whoa.
I don't
I
think
changed
you're
my
gonna-
mind. I'm going there.
Hey, we'll roleplay that one here in just a second. It will have to be boots off, but that's okay. So there is actually a roll me an investigation check real quick.
All right. Oh, that's not great. That is a 9.
Yeah, so it does take you the better part of the afternoon, but eventually, through a lot of coaxing of the guards and searching around, you do make your way down through the trades ward, all the way almost back to Timora's Blessing, where you run into a shop called Azimuth's Equipment. One of the guards pointed you in that direction with sort of grab. It's over there. And it is a proud shop that stands sort of in the middle of a sort of darker corner of the street, and you had to cut down a few alleyways and a few streets to actually get in here, and you finally find it. And there is a wooden sign hanging out that just says EE on it, and the front of the building looks a little worse for wear. The person who's running the shop hasn't really kept it up so much, but you go ahead and push your way in, and the late afternoon sun is singing through the windows, and it casts sort of a darker shadow across the interior of this building. And the interior itself is just packed. There is just stuff all over the place.
Good lord.
There's like armor that's piled up in a corner. And I'm sorry, Allegrex, did you want to go with him?
Yeah, why not? If we met up, then yeah.
Okay, I'll assume you guys sort of met up, and then he said he wanted to do some shopping. Sorry, we shouldn't have skipped that scene, but we did. Wanted to do some shopping, so he went ahead and headed on down. And there is just like vials of gunk and crap just on these shelves next to these ratty books. And then there's, across the way, there's like a shrunken head and stuff like that. And there's no bell when the door opens. You just sort of open the door and stand in there, and you sort of take a few steps, and there's like dust flying up from your feet.
Ratty old place.
Well, hopefully he has what I need, though. Gotta be prepared.
And you hear sort of a rustling in the back, and you see a stack of papers fall over, and from around sort of one of the shelving units, you see this grizzled old man come out, and he says, "What do you want?"
Hello. I'm hoping you have some wares that I need.
Where's I got where's here? Where's there?
I'm looking for a couple of items in particular. An invisibility potion or something that can perform the same function.
Visibility potion? Give me a second, young man. And walks over to one of the shelves, and he's got a bunch of vials up there. He looks at one. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Okay, all right. And he reaches deep into the back, and he pulls out this vial, and it's got clear liquid in it, and the sun's sort of shining and making it sparkle. He says, visibility potion. That'll do just fine. Come over here, young man. And he shuffles to the back of the shop, and he sets it on this desk that's just over-cluttered with all sorts of gobbledygook. There's a bike horn in there, and there's like an actual horn from a bull or something on there. And he says, is that all for you?
Also, if you have it, I need something that can make a flash and a bang, something nice and loud or bright and shiny, that's very easily perceptible from a distance.
Well, now let me think about that. I don't think I have anything quite like that. Flash and a bang, that's more magical stuff. I'm not sure if I'm the one to really do that for you. Now, Virtus, over there on, what's that called? Caravan Street in the Spectre Walk. They've got, potions and poisons over there, too. Might have what you're looking for.
I will go chat with him. How much for the potion?
I don't know, visibility potion, pretty rare around these parts. About 100 gold.
Could you work with me on that price at all? Maybe a little. How about 85?
85. I could probably let it go for about 90 if that's right.
Actually, make me a persuasion check right quick.
Persuasion. It's going to be a 16.
16.
Yeah, I could let it go for about 90 there. If that's all right with you, young man.
I could do 90. 90 works.
And excellent. Well, 90 gold, please.
All right. This potion better damn well work. I don't say that. I'm not saying that.
Okay, all right. So he hands you over the vial, and he takes his 90 gold and says,
Anything else? What about you, big feller?
Actually, yes, do you have any empty glass bottles?
Yeah. Let's see, empty glass bottles.
and he actually just sort of rummages around behind his desk for a little bit, and you hear clink, clink, clink.
Did you want it broken or unbroken?
Preferably unbroken.
Preferably unbroken.
Ting, 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 ting. And then he pulls out these bottles. They don't have any corks in them, but he's got bottles. He's got they're about medium size, probably like old school milk bottles.
Wonderful. How much for 10 of those bottles?
10 of these bottles here. I could probably, you know what? They're not that. 2 gold,
Lovely. I'll take them.
All right, well, here you go. And he slides him gold, please.
There you go. Hand him 2 gold.
Excellent. He bites one of them old timey. Pickaxe guy.
Puts him in a just underneath the desk.
He said, well, is there anything else y'all might be in the fancy for? You look around. I got some armor back in the corner over there.
I think we'll pass for now. Thank you.
All right. You can pass on through again sometime if you want to. I'll be here till the day I die, which is probably later this afternoon.
Funny man.
I do what I can. All right, well, you gentlemen have a lovely day, and you tell other people to come on down to Azimuth. We got all sorts of stuff.
We certainly will.
All right, have a good day then. He just sort of sits back down.
So you guys exit the store, and do you guys want to head over to Vertus?
Before we do that, I'd like to say, so if it's a loud distraction and a bang you're looking for, I'm going to take out one of the glass bottles, pull out one of my jugs of Windigger whiskey, pour a little bit inside, kind of coat the inside of the bottle, and then leave a little bit in there, stuff a strip of cloth in there, and gonna hand it to Rain.
Subtract 1 bottle, Rain. Add 1 mother flipping Molotov. God damn, I can't believe you did it.
Hey everyone, Mike again. Thanks so much for listening to our podcast and showing your support. We see you guys out there, and we're so very grateful. If you like what we do here, let us know by rating and reviewing us on iTunes, tweeting at us at LastNerdsEarth, and following our Facebook and Instagram at LastNerdsOnEarth. If you enjoy what we do and want to help us grow, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/LastNerdsOnEarth. We've got some great rewards, including the chance to name a character, submit items, and even play a one-shot DM'd by Jack himself. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Oh my gosh.
So I now have a potion of invisibility and a Molotov cocktail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love
Maybe
D&D.
the finest Windigger whiskey.
You did it, you crazy son of a bitch. You did it.